It's all going to start trekking thick and fast around here. Yeah. It's number 215 today on Trekland Tuesdays Live with Dr. Trek. That's me, Larry Nemecek, coming at you from the heart of Trekland right through Portal 47 to bring you the big picture, clarity, and sanity in things Star Trek. And hey, we've got a lot going on today. I'm going to get off on a little rant here to start with, as usual. Hey, I hope you have checked your, what do we call it, COVID brain, your lockdown brain. You got your memory tuned up, because it is. It's all going to start trekking thick and fast at us. Hey, 1 month from today, especially for the 1 month from today, is the premiere of season 2 of Lower Decks. And it's right in the middle of Trek Vegas. Now, I know not everyone will be at Trek Vegas. In fact, probably a lot fewer than normally would be because of the lingering effects of the pandemic. The foreign fans can't travel as easily. They still have lockdowns, all of that. I mean, the pandemic is raging around the globe and even in the US. So get your shot, do the thing. Sidebar camera C. What would every Starfleet doctor in screen history tell you to do? I mean, do you really want to be the sucker of the episode? The sheep are the people that act like they never had junior high science class or got their shots for school. Anyway, wherever you are, Vegas or not, as you know the routine, the premiere and whatever we get at Vegas, but that premiere alone will send tongues wagging. You can watch along at home. You'll catch all the news on video on all your news sites. We will be ablaze in Trek World with all the fresh Trek, not to be confused with fresh hell. Thank you, Sir Patrick. But we'll have so much fresh Trek, finally. We'll be back in business. Our long national pandemic Trek lockdown, slowdown nightmare will be over. And maybe by then, even by the time of ComicCon Virtual, maybe, we will know all about the sea of premiere dates and whether they're overlapping or not from all the rest of the series. Yay! Long overdue. I mean, yes, we're almost out of the pandemic desert. And yes, meanwhile, wherever you are, fans will be gingerly stepping back into live fandom life. And I know a lot of people have been live conning for months now. And yeah, a lot of the low-vax states have the numbers to prove it. I just hope that the Euro Cup finals and the Tokyo Olympics aren't just the biggest petri dish ever, because this thing is still not over. But even the virus is not going to stop the modern age of Trek, Trek's new golden age, when we have so many series at work at once. And, you know, it's not like they're all going to drown us. I think it took a while for people to get this. We're not going to be drowned in 26-episode seasons, overlapping, you know, drown you with a smile on your face. But here's the thing. They are going to drown us with casts. With creative teams. We're going to have so many names. We're already there, but it's going to pile on even more. We're going to have to use our hello, how do you do, and oftentimes at a distance memory where no Trek fan has gone before. I mean, really? It's 1 month of Lower Decks? How about in 10 days, we'll get the next round of news, you know, with a very animated slant. Did you see the 1 hour panel, half and half, of the animateds that are going to be at Virtual Comic-Con, Comic-Con at Home, coming up, a week from Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's amazing. For the first time, we will be introduced, basically live, to all the voice cast behind Star Trek Prodigy. And I think we know Kate Mulgrew. But hey, we'll be meeting Brett Gray, Ella Purnell, Angus Emery, Riley Azrakri, D. Bradley Baker, and Jason Mantzoukas, right? Alongside the Hageman brothers and the director, co-executive producer, Ben Hibben. Now, that's at Comic-Con at Home. That'll be the first part of the big Paramount Plus block. It's very animation-focused. Apparently, that's what's coming up first. Take that as a clue. We only have that August, 12th? 14th? We only have that Thursday in August premiere date for Lower Decks. Everything else is still up in the air, but take a clue. You're going to get the Prodigy cast. Have you memorized all their names yet? Do you know their faces? I mean, yeah, that will be followed by a Lower Decks panel for season 2 with Tawny Newsome, Jack Quaid, and Eugene Cordero, along with the EP, All Things Lower Deck, Mike McMahon. You'd think I would take the simpler pronunciation because, yes, I knew Mac Mahans in school. But that's going to be cool. It's Friday, July 23rd at 10 a.m. for that panel, Virtual Comic-Con Hub, which is cool because it's a lead-in, because I have a panel called Beyond the Menagerie and the Expanse, Sci-Fi Space Law versus Real Space Law, coming up at 6 Pacific that night. A whole bunch of space lawyers also happen to be sci-fi nerds. It's great. I hope you can catch that one too. So thank you, Paramount Plus, for another lead-in like that. I'll have more on that next week. But it's an awesome hour of reintroducing us on Lower Decks and meeting a whole new cast on Star Trek Prodigy. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for these names? Are you ready for it? I mean, look, the voice actors are the ones that have to depend on their Instagram squares and their Zoom boxes to be seen. It's one thing for the live action crew of the rest of the crew of even Strange New Worlds. And that creative team, department heads, new directors, producers. I mean, it's a lot of names. We have never had this many casts and crews to deal with before. Are you up to it? Are you up to it, or just ready to go into Nerd Trek Nirvana with a smile on your face if you don't make it all the way, right? So we got to help them out. We got to help all these voice actors and all these animateds out. Take notes. Be ready when you're ready to go back live and see them all at a con. You know, a lot of them have been voice acting for a long time. They know they know their way around the circuit. You may see them at Comic-Cons already, all over. Some of them will be newbies. One in particular, probably. But I mean, you know, it was one thing for Michael Dorn, or Armin, or Max, or Andy, or Ethan, or John Billingsley, you know, the prosthetic actors, the alien actors of all the live actions. It was hard enough for fans, much less their own crews at the beginning, to know what they look like off camera, out of makeup. These voice actors are going to be even more hidden. So yes, tune in on Friday. Subscribe to all their channels. That's how you get in a lot of the breaking news, or the cool. That's how you meet them in this day and age. And why wait for a con talk when you can follow their Instagrams and do that? But you know, that's also the best way to just know what they look like. That's also the best way to have a grasp on their own personal character. And you know, it's not just limited to the actors. A lot of the creative directors and DP, makeup people, visual effects people, they may actually have their own websites, much less their Instagram account, because it is 2021. Anyway, it's a great way to get a leg up on what your poor COVID memory is going to be subjected to with all these series coming at you. Some of them with faces hidden behind animation. And it's only 10 days away. Panels is 10 days away. The premiere of Lower Decks is 30 days away, which for some of us going means Vegas is only 30 days away. Yeah. I mean, it's enough if you think about it. It's crazy enough to have the creatives, the office, and the stage crew on all those live series. You know, I mean, we thought it was bad enough when DS9 busted out with another Trek family, and we had two. We had overlapping series. But I mean, now we have Toronto versus LA. We have live action versus anime. We have the way the industries work. We have the way the national cultures work. We have the way, I mean, you know, they're not just coming out at us en masse. They're coming at us on diversity, which I guess is a good thing. It's just hard on the learning curve, okay? Here's one piece of easy on the noggin news that I hope you caught. I know the tech heads were overjoyed this week because, yes, not only is the director's edition of the motion picture, the slightly more civilized version, it's finally coming to 4K, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, with all the actually completed visual effects footage, the way that director Robert Wise wanted it. What has that been, 20 years since we got that edition? Yeesh. But it was in HD, not actually anything higher, thus the project right now. But not only are we getting it, but I am so thrilled to see that, yep, our buddies Darren Doctorman and Mike Medicino and executive producer David Fine are all still back with the project. They work with Robert Wise. It was basically the last creative project he did before he passed. But they worked with him to, you know, go beyond the documents that survive and bring the vision of the film the way he intended it before the crazy, insane December 7th Deadline backs against the wall because of the visual effects fiasco and just the length of, guys and gals, talk about trying to reinvent, talk about trying to get the well-oiled machine going again. There was no machine for 10 years, and there certainly wasn't a big screen machine until the motion picture and Paramount found their way, along with the motion picture industry in the visual effects boom post Star Wars era. There was a lot of learning curve to go there at the same time too. And even though it started off much humbler, the Wrath of Khan benefited from all that. And then boom, everything we have since then. The motion picture was an amazing, amazing movie. And it's almost, you shouldn't ever judge a movie by anything beyond what you see on the screen. So, okay, changes in scenery, much less pacing and filming, etc., are important. You know, the motion picture is the story of a pop culture revolution, of a cultural revolution. And it's just really hard not to see the motion picture outside of that light, aside from a standalone movie, which, you know, arguably next to maybe Star Trek 09, Star Trek's never been the benefit of. A truly epic, old school, sweeping movie. And anyway, I'm going on and on about motion picture. You know that. I'm just glad to see 3 familiar names associated with this project. But hey, I am so glad to be welcoming all the new names and faces when we get the real thing. I can't wait for that panel. I can't wait to see what comes up. And what crumbs, what After Effects will we be getting between now and then? What will we get between then and live action Vegas? Now, Vegas Creations Vegas Trek is not officially licensed, but there's pieces of, it's not the big official direct pipeline show, but there'll be a lot of Star Trek there and a lot of news and a lot of hints dropping from folks. So it's still going to be a news destination. Then we've got the comeback of New York Comic-Con in the fall. We'll have Star Trek Day here in just another couple of months, or another month beyond that. And CBS has gotten very savvy about using our Star Trek days, since we seem to be the franchise that has them, aside from maybe Manifest. But in the old school, franchises. So there's a lot of timings, a lot of stepping stones there, a lot of time markers to gear to for news. And like I said, I think we've got 5-6 series in production on our way. It really is about to get thick and fast in here. I hope you are up for it. Hey, there's a kick in the butt for you, maybe, to get on your, get your pad 2Ds and stylus out and be ready to take notes if you're not doing it on your tricorder camera. It's going to be trekking thick and fast, starting right around the corner. I'm excited. I'm ready for it all. And hey, I'm excited that you are here with us. I hope some of you have jumped in on the chat already. I hope some of you, especially on Twitch, realize that I'll be talking, not chat now, but in just a little bit. We'll take just a little bit of a break here. But first, I just want to thank all of our Patreons who are with us every week. We're going to be thanking them in just a second. Well, I guess I can do it right now. Thank you, Blaze K, Robin Wilson, Lawrence Todd, and Marie Siegel, Blake Arledge, Jason Porteous, and Nathaniel Robinson. And thank you, our live wires, Rusty Harrell, Halbeard Gunn Johnson, Jalen Bullock, Gary Williams, Jared Cooper, Mr. Vestek, Robert McLean, and Casey Shafsky. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, I do want to remind everybody, if you are Vegas bound, the deadline is closing down on this. It will be a week. Our deadline for this is a small tour, a one-day tour. Geek Nation Tours and I are teaming up again to do a one-day tour out to the Valley of Fire. Tuesday on Con Eve morning. We will be back by 2. We're trying to beat the heat out there. But yes, it's where Kirk died in Generations. And there's more than one place to visit out there besides the actual filming site. We'll hit that all plus lunch, leaving early Tuesday morning. If you're going to Vegas, think about going with us. This may be the last exact combination of Vegas factors we have this year. So I hate to say it might be the last time we get to do this. You might think about that. Check out geeknationtours.com. It's the next tour up. Maybe think about joining us. The window closes a week prior. What was that? August 3rd. And we do need 8 to make this. So if we don't have 8 takers, the tour won't make. Just saying. There we go. I did thank our Patreons. If you want to be a Patreon helper here at All Things Trekland Online, it's just $5 and $10 a month. Your choice. I keep it simple, no complicated. I have so much else going on. We keep this simple too. Patreon.com/Trekland Live. And hey, did you hear about the new Trekland store? Yes, at TeePublic, tpublic.com/stores/Trekland-shop. And all my brands are there. Life Support Live is there. The Trekland. And yeah, even that other thing I do. Well, Life Support Live, I mentioned. This show, Portal 47 members have their exclusive merch. That's not open to the public. But, oh, I know. It's that other thing that I do, speaking of stores. And I'm so thrilled to remind everybody that we are back from hiatus. Yay. Are you a Trekophile? The Trek Files is back from hiatus this week. We have a home interview, a little bit different, but just the same as you expect on Trek Files. Some paper, some digital paper, and a thought from original series director Ralph Sinensky. He is the last of the multiple episode. He's 98. He's got more fire and energy than people half his age. And it's an awesome interview, part 1. And it's our 7th season premiere. So go over to facebook.com/the Trek Files, or that's where you can get the documents, but you can go to any podcatcher of choice and catch our season 7 premiere. So thrilled and excited to be back after our break and a new season, and to kick it off with one of the classic creative voices from the original series, and with some great stories and even some great sidebars. And we've got more guests coming up the rest of the season. This is only one of the Trek Files designs. We have a new groovy design. Check out the store over at But you can get the links on my page too. And hey, while you're doing that, also happy to say another show that's back this week is, yes, Life Support Live. We had one more vacation break, and we'll be back with you Saturday, going boldly through uncertain times. Dr. Ali and Dr. Trek, one of us is a real doctor. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 Central European. We're going to have a watch along. We just decided that this morning. We're going to have a watch along with The Rise of Invicta. No. You know what I mean. It's a lower decks half-hour watch along, and then we'll just do AMA after that. Okay? No theme aside from enjoying watching Mariner's self-therapy and all the spin-off that it comes. Anyway, join us at 10. It's Bring Your Own Media, as always. So bring your own way to watch it, and we'll start together and then discuss. There, you heard that news. One more thing before we go. Remember, #ThinkTrek. This is the Gene Roddenberry Centennial. It's 100 years since Gene was born. Look what he begat. So many people have added to his universe, but if it wasn't for him, this world would have evolved a slightly different way for millions of people around it, including me, including, I'm going to say, many of you. And hey, our Think Trek tour, the Great Birds Origin Tour LA, is up. If you are interested in this tour, it's 2 days. We have a hotel and a non-hotel option. Get in touch with me, Larry at LarryNemecek.com, or signal us here in the chat. Get in touch with me at all my places. You can go to my website, LarryNemecek.com, hit the contact, get in touch with me. I have not done a landing page yet because we are setting this mid-October date, but there's a chance that might change, which I know is not a very steady thing to do, but there's an opportunity coming that we may shift the date a little later in the year. I know. But if you are able to stay nimble, hang with me and we will let you know as soon as possible. For now, it's mid-October. Don't buy your airfare yet. They're all recouping back from the pandemic anyway. It is in LA. It will be awesome. I've never done anything like this before. Yes, Rod will be in the mix on this. He'll be a guest for part of the days we're covering his end of his dad's life. So anyway, keep that upper mind. We'll have that final detail as soon as we can. Meanwhile, thanks everybody for being with us here on another Tuesday. Get your memory cells cranked up. We've got a lot more names, a lot more faces, hopefully, coming at us. A lot more Trek to come. This pandemic hiatus is about over. Yeah, we will see you around the bend. And I will see you, hopefully, on my YouTube channel, where you may be watching now. If not, please go and subscribe. That's also my Twitter, just at Larry Nemecek. If you're with us on Facebook, that's my Instagram channel, Larry Nemecek's Trekland. And hey, portal47.net. The Portales just had a private 2 hours with Ralph Sinensky last month. We have an incredible guest every month from backstage behind the scenes. We have our roundtables, access to my documents and archives, so much more. It really is like a mini con all month long. And hey, I've been doing it for nearly 6 years now, way before this whole Zoom pandemic flash in the pan fad. Check it out, portal47.net. That's going to do it for now. I'll be around here after the break, so hang on. We'll get into the chat, and we'll also do the Parrot Analytics streaming TV ratings top 10 from the US, as we do every week. And yeah, we'll do Chat Tac too. I am on a strict time today. I am out at 2:30 Pacific, so that's coming up. But for right now, guys and gals, peeps of all persuasions, stay safe out there. Please do all the things. Stay woke. Check your sources. Check out where that blurb is coming from that's got you so upset. It's probably just a paid ghost. Keep your eyes and ears open. Oh, yes. Trek well, everybody.